And interestingly, we can actually get some pushback from people in our environment, as we start to become more spacious and free and joyful. It's weird how sometimes the others may reflect back to us our own feeling hesitant about emerging with our light, with our unencumbered essence. And, you may get some strange and it's unconscious on their end, like, why are you so happy, or it's not, this is a serious moment. Yeah, it's serious, but I can still be okay, right? No, I have to be miserable too. Yeah, just be aware of that these tribal agreements, people get a little bit scared. We might be a little afraid of breaking ranks, and people may get a little scared in our lives that we're not going to be in the fold as we have been. No, you won't be, but you'll be in the fold as love. You'll be in the fold as an invitation to let go of imagining that we have to suffer to be here. So there'll be a time when you separate from the trail of tears, the trail of suffering, the trail of human created misery. There will be a time when you part ranks, and that little time can feel really uncomfortable. It can feel like you're dying, in a way, another way of feeling like you're dying. That afraid you're going to lose relationships, afraid that you won't be accepted, because we are really tribal by nature. Our survival has been entwined with being a tribe, but our allegiances, a lot of them have been based on falseness. So you part ways, and as you do so, you find actually that your heart is just actually more free to love, more free to be present. You're more free to be present, more free to be empathetic, compassion and caring without being hooked in to believing that we have to co-suffer. Oh, and during that time, I discovered what true caring is. True caring is not, and I didn't realize how deep my belief of caring, what it meant. It meant somehow being hooked into suffering with them. It was really unconscious. But as I unhooked it, or it got unhooked, I saw that true caring is way more clean, way more able to penetrate and be penetrated. That the way that we care with this feeling of that I have to suffer with you is actually, it's false, but it's also a way of being defended to feeling the impact, the real intimate impact of feeling somebody, of feeling ourselves, feeling the pain of the world. It's actually part of that veil, the overlay between ourselves and others and ourselves and nature. It's really waking up out of trances, trance upon trance. So if you get a little pushback, or you go through a period of being a little afraid of losing people, or that, just know that can be part of the passageway, and it's good to have some understanding about this. And yes, we've learned a lot of traveling together, as a human species. We've learned a lot about what it's like to feel separate. And we learned a lot of human connections have been real and grown through that and caring. But it's not in balance with our spiritual nature. We need to live in balance with that which is free in the midst of being here. What's free in the midst of living our lives. That's what awakening is that it's an integration of opening to that which is okay with what is, not in a passive way, not necessarily even so neutral. It's just simply free. And we really are made of both. And we want to awaken to this side of us that has forgotten itself, that really helps us live this life without feeling so lost and burdened. I mean, it's heavy. It's really heavy living without that understanding that we are made of spirit and light, and we come from the stars too. If we lean too much in that direction, some people like that, maybe, or heard of it, or know some teachers like that, or maybe you have, then it's like you need to actually be growing roots to being here and feeling your humanity and not avoiding this human experience. But most people are heavy and burdened with Maya and the suffering. And so we need to remember. And so when I walked us through that little exercise of how to be here and open to what you're contained, and then that what is opening to it is already free, it helps create some space so that you can lean into that open door and start to embrace it in your life. Not have to change yourself in order to be able to lean into that open door. And start to cultivate it and woo it, you want to woo it. You want it to be your greatest, most passionate lover that you are aligned with. It's the only thing that won't want anything from you. So you're safe. It's the thing that's accompanied you your whole life. It's always been here. It's just, they say it moves to the background, and it does, because it doesn't assert itself. Presence doesn't assert itself. Your being, what is free. It's like, oh, so there's a lot of lost in Maya going on here. Let's see what happens. It lives in the timeless, so it's like time. Oh well. But there is some little alarm clock that goes off in each person that says, oh, enough of this. I'm ready. Right? Is that where you find yourself? I'm ready, or you live readiness, whatever it is. But if you're already there, then you can remember what it was like. That's how I can talk about it. Plus, you all are here to remind me, because we're one. Don't give up hope. Just be focused. Giving up hope on realizing. I've met some friends like that. It's okay. And then they go off into, I'm going to go into manifesting for a while, some teachings about manifestation, or I'm going to throw myself into a love affair. That's all okay. Really, what I want to do is work. Okay. Be a parent. Okay. Life doesn't really, it's not push, it pushes in the sense that it reminds you of, over time, of what's essential. So maybe you'll come back to it. One would come back to it. Maybe not. I don't know. I trust the mystery. Maybe one wants to be focusing and be a writer this lifetime. Maybe that's what the soul is wanting. But there is this alarm clock, like Ramana says, that realization is predestined. That means it's in time. It's in time, and there's an alarm clock for you. But just see if the alarm clock's going off and you're just kind of like putting your head under the pillow. I won't ask you to raise your hand if you're doing that. No. I want to keep thinking that I have to fix myself. And then you keep trying and you go down, and then that becomes a dead end. There was this point, I loved it actually. That was a really cool time that I was just spiritually, and they were happening like that, like where I'd believe something for a moment. And then it would just like within a moment, it just hit a dead end. Like, no, I know that's not it. Like there's no way. It turned out to be like Sartre's no exit story. There was just no exit. I couldn't find an exit. There was no way out of solving this riddle of wanting to escape this reality. There was no way out, no exit. And that's a really good time. Like I turn this way and that's not going to give me what I want. I turn this way and that's not giving me what I want. I try this technique inside, it no longer works. This meditation technique, this mantra, when it becomes more spiritual and refined, that's not doing it anymore. Why? You can do it for a while and that's good, as long as the door stays open. But if it doesn't do it anymore, it's because you're meant to just completely stop all technique, all imagination, that something's going to save you from this moment as it is. Nothing is going to save you. So you do your techniques until they don't work anymore, because if it opens the door to presence, but eventually they will be taken away from you. Little toys will be taken away from you to where nothing works anymore. And why? Because you're simply supposed to stop and just, I'm going to say it, you're just meant to fucking be. You're just meant to be, just FB, just be. Stop it. Hands off the cookie jar. Just stop playing around. Just stop and be. Stop hiding. Stop pretending. Stop putting your head under the pillow. Stop thinking this path, that path, this teacher, this training, this blah, 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 blah. In the end, if you want direct path, that's what it is. Welcome to reality. And it's the best thing in the world. When you're finally sober up enough to stop everything. Stop your excuses, stop your lamenting. I wish I could be awake. Stop it all. And then you're ripe. The ripeness is here. Make sense? And it's a big relief, let me tell you.